All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today I'm going to show you how I like to train my shoulders at home. I've already done videos on how I train my biceps and my triceps specifically, so I wanted to keep that going and talk about how I approach shoulders, specifically obviously the front, side, and rear delts with minimal equipment at home as always. So in this video, you'll see me doing some dumbbell shoulder presses, a couple different lateral raise variations, some upright rows, and even some inverted body weight rows. When it comes to shoulders, I usually train them about 3 times a week, basically every time I train. I'll throw in 1 to 3 sets of some type of shoulder isolation work. It's nothing crazy, but over time, that consistent volume really does add up. So as you can see here, starting out with some shoulder presses with the dumbbells. Now, I don't do these all the time. Sometimes I will just let my push-ups and my deficit push-ups on my parallel bars take care of my front delt stimulation, but every now and then it's fun to throw in this movement as well. Now, if you don't have dumbbells, a good variation you can do for some shoulder pressing is a pike push-up. I didn't throw it in the video, but I've done it in the past. If you do want to see maybe a tutorial on how to do that pike push-up, obviously there's tons of videos out there on YouTube for it, but let me know and maybe I can do a short on it or a full video on it. But when I do a pike push-up, I like to do them on my parallel bars so that I can get a full range of motion, just like you're seeing here on these dumbbell shoulder presses, where you can really get the front delts in a fully stretched position. So I do some form of a pushing movement, be it a push up or a shoulder press for the front delts, obviously for the chest and triceps too, but the front delts are going to be getting hit in those movements. Do that 3 days a week and do, 2 or 3 hard quality sets per session. Now, moving on to the rear delts here. I'm doing an inverted body weight row and kind of rowing up towards my chin or even my nose to help target the upper back and obviously the rear delts here. Now, again, I don't do the inverted row super often, maybe once a week, maybe once every couple weeks, but I do think they really help develop the rear delts. And I also didn't show in this video me doing any regular pull-ups, but I absolutely contribute a lot of my rear delt development to just doing pull-ups really well, especially when doing them with that arched back style to where your sternum comes up to the bar, where it's almost like a mixture of a vertical pull and a horizontal pull. But if you don't have this apparatus that I'm using here at home or at the gym, you can always use those TRX suspension trainers. Those would work great here as well for doing inverted rows. Just remember, if you're trying to focus on your rear delts, try to pull a little bit higher up towards your mouth or your nose as opposed to pulling lower by your sides. Now, I think everyone knows this already, but the lateral delts are vital when it comes to building that wide, strong looking physique. They give you that shoulder width that really changes your frame. It's what makes your upper body look powerful, even in a t shirt, in my opinion. But the thing is, the lateral delts don't really get a ton of direct work from those compound movements. So push-ups and shoulder presses hit your front delts a ton, obviously, and stuff like inverted rows or pull-ups will hit the rear delts pretty well, but that side delt could use some isolation if your goal is to really get them growing. That's where the lateral raises come in, or the upright rows. To me, these are all essential. So as you can see for the upright rows here, I'll do them with my dumbbells, obviously, either with 2 arms at a time or even 1 arm at a time, like you're seeing here. They're an absolute staple for me. These still hit your traps, obviously, sure, but they also hammer the lateral delts when you really focus on driving and leading with your elbow as high as you can, and trying to keep the movement smooth and letting it stretch your shoulder down at the bottom with a large contraction at the top. I know some people will talk about how an upright row makes their shoulders feel a little funky, and I totally get it. I don't get any pain or impingement with upright rows, but if you do, you definitely don't have to do them. So if it doesn't feel right, just scrap it and stick with a normal lateral raise variation. Not a big deal here. Now you'll see coming up here a couple different versions of lateral raises. The first one is a leaning one arm dumbbell lateral raise. Now this one is amazing because it really emphasizes that range of motion at the bottom, that first, oh, I don't know, 12 or 18 inches or so from your hip up. That's where a lot of that tension is going to be on your lateral raises, as opposed to when you're doing a standing lateral raise, most of the tension is at the top of the movement, as opposed to when the dumbbell's closer to your side, if that makes sense. So it does not take much weight for these at all. I think I might be using anywhere from like 15 to maybe 25 pounds, but most of the time 15 or 20-pound dumbbells is gonna get the job done for sure. And then finally, you're going to see me doing my tried and true standing dumbbell lateral raises. Now, I do these maybe a little bit different than some people. I tend to go, especially in the beginning of my sets, as high as I can, or higher than, especially perpendicular to my body. I like to let the set progress, and as I get more fatigued, I obviously can't raise the dumbbells as high anymore, so I'll just naturally let the range of motion be cut as I get more fatigued during the set. So again, starting out going pretty high and then just gradually going until I don't have much of a range of motion at all, so I can completely fatigue the muscle fibers in the lateral delts. And that's it, guys. Real basic. So a couple lateral raises, maybe an upright row, and some form of pressing, be it push-ups or shoulder presses. That's going to take care of your whole shoulders. Just make sure you are, really hitting the lateral delts hard. To me, that is going to be the game changer in a physique. So if that's something you're worried about, definitely don't be afraid to hit those lateral delts every time you train and hit them hard. They do recover pretty fast because they are small muscle groups. So if this video helped at all, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to help out if I can. So until next time, we'll see you in the next video.